Hey everyone, welcome to the weekly update. I am back this week and I will be going through some freshwater fish here in a minute, and Fruit Loop will be doing all the saltwater fish. The first thing I want to do though is draw your attention to some of the larger tanks that we have in right now. Tank availability in sizes 90 gallon and over has been very difficult lately for a lot of people, for pretty much everybody in the industry, because they haven't been building them as much. And I wanted to show you what we had in stock just because it's what we have in stock till they start coming in again. Okay, so right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 undrilled 125s. I do not at the moment have a drilled 125, so just to let you know, I have 4 undrilled 125s. I have one 150 gallon drilled tank. I might have one more. Yes, I do. I have 2 drilled 150s right now that I am sure of. I have one. This is a new tank. This is a 5-foot tank. It's a 120, 5 feet, 18 inches to the back, but this is cool, and gray stand we haven't done before. So if you've got a modern type white and gray everything in your house, like most people on HGTV right now, this might fit perfectly. But 120 drilled. Okay, I have 2 180 drilled tanks right now. I don't think I have an undrilled at the moment, but I do have, I do have 2 drilled 180s right now. This is my last 210 that I have in stock in any form right now. This is an undrilled model. We're working to get the drilled ones in. I have 2 of those sold and I can't even get them right now. But I do have 1 210 undrilled. Okay, so one of my favorite tanks we have in an undrilled model, but we do have 2 of them, is the 150. It is a 4-foot by 2-foot footprint, and it's got extra height. So it's really impressive, especially if it's on a little bit taller stand, maybe 38 to 40 inch stand, and it really is impactful when you walk in a room. So if you don't have a lot of space lengthwise, you may want to take a look, but want a big tank, you might want to take a look at the 150s. This is a tank I have never had before. This is an 84 gallon. Never had an 84 gallon before. They just started making them. It is a 36 inch tank, so 3 feet by 18 inches deep, but it's got a really high height, 30 inches. So if you've got a really small space, but want a tank that's got some size to it, some depth to it, this would make an absolutely incredible reef tank. Or if you really wanted to get creative with lower light live plants, such as a novice, because of the depth, you could really create an incredible wall of rock and stuff behind here. I might do that in a video. Okay, we have tons of tanks in. We have lots and lots and lots of fish tanks, and we are on the waiting list as the forerunner to get new tanks as they come in the larger sizes. So we're trying to get everything we can right now, but the option to get drilled versus undrilled, we're just taking what we can get. So if you have been in the market for any type of larger tank, this is what we have on hand at the moment, ready, first come, first serve. One other thing that I'd like to mention real quick before we get to the fish is the rock room. It's easy to miss because it's all the way in the back to the left when you come into the store, but it is a great place to let out your creativity. I spent 10 or 15 minutes here yesterday toward the end of my day just playing around with a rock design for a 120, trying to use a bunch of different rocks in here. The cool thing is we have this table right here that is set up to be a 180 gallon tank. So it's divided into feet so that you can superimpose whatever size tank you have to do some dry stacking and creativity. And you can just come in here and play. You don't have to buy anything, but if you've ever wanted to just kind of get an idea, what would my tank look like this or like that? Or you want to grab one of us and have us help you design something, this is a great way to do it when you're in here. Just playing, I did this in the format of a 120 gallon tank yesterday in 15 minutes. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. We've got lots of different rock, both in the saltwater variety and the freshwater variety. So when you're in here and you've got a little bit of time and you want to kind of let your creativity out, but you don't want to do it in the existing tank that you have, or maybe tank that you're thinking about purchasing, this is a great way to do that. Okay, so we're going to start with goldfish this week, and the 3 different types that you're looking at are the bronze tie orandas, calico lion heads and the red lion heads. These came in very active, looking very good, with really nice markings this week. So if you're in the market for some lion head orandas, or orandas period, and you don't want to pay a lot of money, this is a great place to start and a great size to start with. As well as those, we also got in some black Ranchu lion heads as well. These are really nice and dark, very alert and active, and really sharp. So as long as I've done this, I am really amazed by some of the betas that we're getting in. You don't have to have a lot of money to get a really beautiful beta tank set up. You can use a very, very small tank. Their requirements are very, very minimal. And the selection that Kevin's been getting in have been phenomenal. As far as the different color morphs, just the overall look of things, it can really brighten up a desk in less than a foot of space. And there are just some really exceptional betas that we've gotten in. We got in, I think, somewhere around 25, maybe 30 betas this week. Maybe even 50, I can't remember exactly how many we got. But every single one has something a little bit different about them. And these mustard gas betas are just phenomenal. I know summer is over and it's time to start weaning down the ponds, but you've still got a couple months. This is the last Chinese high-fin shark that I have right now. I haven't been able to get any more, and this guy is lovely, beautiful. And if you want something extremely different to put in your pond that will eat algae, this is a great fish. Beautiful in their markings this week, we got in marble needlefish. Now, these aren't going to get as big as a lot of your gars and things like that. They are going to stay very slim. Every single one seems to have a little bit different marking on it. So if you want something that is a bit of a statement maker that's going to stay near the surface, these needlefish are really, really cool. They're always one of the fish that sell out the very quickest. Peacock bass. I have 3 of them that came in this week. I'm looking for a 4th. I don't think I have them. But these look really good, a very small size, and they grow into a beautiful fish if you've got an aggressive tank. Okay, one of my favorite fish in all of freshwater is the dinosaur fish, the Polypterus. And this is a long fin variant. So this is a little different than what I've had in the past. I don't know that I've had a long fin yet this year, but I have one. This is the long fin Senegalis Polypterus. Beautiful fish. It's only going to get more beautiful as the finnage grows. And if you've got a tank that's somewhat predatory, or you've got a room for something really, really cool, this guy is definitely very, very cool. I showed these a few weeks ago, and I want to show them again because we got in a new batch. They're very healthy. They're the Abramite headstanders. These are fish that literally school standing on their heads in the tank. So if you want something that is going to take away from the normal horizontal look of a fish, and something that is more or strongly different than pretty much any other fish that you can see, the Abramite headstander would be for you. They literally school standing on their heads through the tank. Okay, we got one freshwater tricolor lobster in this week. And just like the name says, 3 different colors on one crayfish. This guy is really cool. He already molted when he came in yesterday, and for all the crayfish lovers that like to see the different styles, I have one. Now, what I do have more than one of in the crayfish variants is the tangerine lobsters that came in. I have 2 of those right now in 2 different sizes. So if you want something that's really pretty, and bear in mind these only color up the older that they can get an electric tangerine color. So very, very beautiful crayfish. Okay, in the live bear section 2, I have a bunch of assorted mollies that came in this week in a lot of different varieties. So if you're in the market for some mollies or some different live bears to dress up your tank, I've got some. Okay, so we got in some white fin rosy tetras this week. Now these are really cool because they have a similar body type to your Serpe tetras, but they have a lot of different color markings on them, and while they do look the same, there are a lot of different color variants just even in this one little fish. A smaller body tetra would be great for a planted aquarium. Just a beautiful little tetra. Okay, so we got in some gold head calvus this week and some pearly calvus. This fish is really, really cool because it has, the head of it almost looks like the head of a Bowie knife. That's what they've always reminded me of. A really cool Tanganykan variant that I've got in a couple of different morphs this week. So very, very beautiful if you have a Tanganykan tank and you're trying to stay species oriented with that. Frontosas are in here as well. Some lace Synodontis. Lelupi I've got, as you can see, swimming in here as well. So there's a lot of really, really cool fish in the Tanganykan department this week. Not to be outdone, my favorite of all the Tanganyikans is the Tropheus. These are the Boisei. They're beautiful when they're young, they're beautiful when they're old. They need to be kept a little different than a lot of your other African cichlids, but man, do they put on a show. They make a great species tank, and I've got some really, really cool ones right here this week. Okay, I also noticed as I was walking away that we have some gold firecracker Tropheus morai as well. We've also got the Kaiser Tropheus. So it's very rare that we have what I would call a lot of Tropheus in, period, because it's more of a collector's cichlid, but I love it when we do. We have a great variety right now. So again, if you're into species collecting, this is probably at the top of the list. Kevin wanted me to make sure that I showed the Salvini cichlids that came in this week in the South American department. For young fish, they're coloring up really, really well. If you have a South American, Central American tank, and you want something that's a very colorful, even though aggressive fish, Salvinis are really, really cool. They keep the color, they add to that color as they grow. They're a beautiful cichlid.
Hi guys, it's Reagan. I can't wait to show you some of the cool saltwater fish that I got in yesterday. So we're gonna go take a look at those. I've got a little bit of everything again this week. I'm trying to keep the variety up for you guys, whether it be a fowler tank fish only or a reef tank. So let's go look at them. All right guys, up first is the bicolor Fiji foxface. So this is a foxface. It's a type of rabbitfish, therefore again it is venomous. This is the first time I've ever been able to get in this size of any type of rabbitfish, so make sure you take advantage of that as well. Fiji foxfaces are named that because you can only find them in that area in the whole world. Fiji foxfaces are incredible algae eaters. They're very passive, not aggressive whatsoever. They'll actually be the one to break up fights in the tank. If two fish are not getting along, he'll kind of swim over and be like, hey guys, what's going on? So he'll kind of break that up. They have been known to eat a few zoanthids here and there, but typically if you keep them well fed, these guys are going to be the perfect addition to any tank. Up next is the Humu Humu Picasso trigger. These guys are absolutely stunning. You can see all of the colors, line work, design work, patterns, everything going on. That's one reason why they're called the Picasso trigger, because it looks like he's been painted. Picasso triggers do get fairly large. They get about a foot long in size, and they can be very mean. So definitely you want to make sure to keep these guys in a predatory aggressive tank. They do better in a fowler tank. These guys will eat inverts, but they're not going to eat coral. So if you don't mind losing a couple of your cleanup crew members here and there, and you want them in a reef tank, go ahead. These guys would be great. Again, they do get mean, they do get large, but they're one of the most beautiful and striking triggerfish in the ocean. So this is the first time I've been able to order one of these guys, and she is really small but very cute. This is the lemon peel mimic tang. So this is different from the normal yellow mimic tangs. These guys mimic the lemon peel dwarf angel. So that's why these guys have a little different body shape, why they have the electric blue around the eyes and around the gill line as well. Lemon peel mimic tangs, when they get larger, they'll remain bright yellow. She also has electric blue outlining all of her fins, her caudal, her tail, and her dorsal. These guys do get normal tang size, so you will need a fairly large tank, but they can be housed with other tangs. They're good algae eaters. They need seaweed a couple times a week. They can get along well in a beautiful reef tank. This one being so small, right now can even go in smaller aquariums, so if you want a lemon peel mimic tang, now is the time to come check her out. This right here is my cute little Mappa puffer. I'm trying not to get bit because he's being very weird. Mappa puffers are absolutely stunning. They're my favorite species of pufferfish. Go back down. We want to see you, buddy. There you go. They're my favorite species of pufferfish, and they are one of the largest. They get over 2 feet long. So you will need a fairly large aquarium to house these guys. They are not so aggressive as they are predatory. They're going to eat cleanup crew. You might occasionally see them eat a small fish, but not really. You are going to need to make sure that they get things like clams on the half shell, anything hard to help wear down that ever-growing beak, because we don't want it to get overgrown, because then we have eating problems. But if you literally just look at this fish, there's probably not a more patterned or more absolutely stellar and stunning fish in the ocean. Hey buddy! Pantherus lineatus. These guys get very large and they can get very aggressive as well. Definitely one like the Sohal that you want to add probably as your last tang. If he were out, you could see really pretty turquoise blue and bright yellow lines on him. These guys are absolutely stunning. They're not very hardy. I will say that. You need to be a little bit more of an experienced aquarist to try these guys. A lot of times they just don't do well in the home aquarium. It's just part of the species that they are. But these are absolutely stunning. They're one of my favorite tangs, absolutely. So if you wanted to test your luck, push your luck, and you know, try one of these guys, I would recommend it, and we can help you out here at the store too. So this is a Diadema pseudochromis. Beautiful, beautiful fuchsia purple hat that looks like he's wearing, and a gorgeous lemon colored body. Now this guy might not get much bigger than this. He's going to stay fairly small. Definitely great for smaller aquariums or larger aquariums, because even though he's so small, he is one of the meanest fish. This guy is extremely aggressive, very mean, does not need to be kept with peaceful, docile fish. He needs to go in a tank with large predators like Picasso fish, Picasso triggerfish that we talked about earlier. I promise you he'll be able to hold his own, and he's going to give it right back to him. This guy's a carnivore. Meaty foods like shrimp are going to do him very well. But again, he's gorgeous, he's striking, but he is mean. Alright, so for the first time, I was able to order a female swallowtail angel. Now, like the Lamarck's angel that I like to order and talk to you guys about, this is one of the most reef-safe angels that you can possibly have. So this is the female. The males look a little bit different, but the females have a nice gradient from yellow all the way down to a nice silver color on the bottom and a nice bluish purple tail. These guys literally have only been known to eat green star polyps, and there are a lot of you that keep reef tanks that would not mind them mowing down some of your green star polyps. But other than that, they're not going to touch any corals. They're a very peaceful fish, and they are a dwarf angel, so they're not going to get super large. So if you wanted a reef-safe angel in your aquarium, one that has some really nice striking colors and outlines, definitely come try out the female swallowtail.
Okay, so that's it for this week. I want you to be sure you do two things. Watch the grind if you haven't, which we put out on Tuesday. Just the fact that Andrew decided to eat a ghost pepper in one shot and then chase it with a jalapeno pepper might be worth watching, just to see how, well, anyway, I'll let you decide. And this Saturday, Ryan is going to talk about plants. We've got a lot of new tissue culture plants that have come in, and he's going to go over why you might want to consider those and the differences between the normal plants that we sell and the tissue culture. So that's going to be a special coming up Saturday, and I hope you guys have a great week. Kat has been working on our wall back here. I think she's done a fantastic job, so I thought it would be a good area to showcase and in the video. So God bless, have a great week, and we'll see you back here next week.